Hey Virgos, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot, and welcome to Mercury entering Leo. So Mercury's going to be in Leo from June 26th all the way to September 15th this year. And let me tell you, this is an exciting time being ruled by Mercury. Virgos during this time are basically looking at and learning how to speak our soul's truth. Now, before we get started, I just want to say thank you guys to each and every one of you for all the ways that you support this channel, all the ways that you lift this channel up, lift each other up, lift me up, because truly each one of you make a difference, and I truly love you back. So to get us started, like I say, and actually I should start before we get into Leo, Mercury is actually in Cancer on the 26th, moving into Leo. And while it's still in Cancer, it happens to be sextile with Uranus. And that'll come back around as well. Confirmation from my neighbors over here. I'm not sure if you heard that, but it'll move back around as well to an additional sextile while it's in Leo. And this is an opportune time. So stay tuned, mark your calendars, we'll get into it. But as we move from Cancer into Leo season for Mercury, this is where we gravitate towards alternative approaches, new ideas, scientific thinking. And this is also where Mercury gives Virgos the confidence to speak our soul's truth through creative ideas, creative theories, and they come naturally through our strong intuition and our strong insights. And like I said before, this will be a time where when Mercury is in Leo, Mercury is also standing in our 12th house. And so our 12th house doesn't necessarily seem like it's got a lot of activity on the outside because it's got so much to do with the inner work. And so this is a time where it's so prolifically profound. It's stronger than we sometimes give it credit for. So our 12th house is our house of spirituality, unconscious, and it represents our spiritual path, our connection to the divine, our connection to our intuition, our psychic abilities. It reveals and uncovers, helps us realize our hidden talents. It also is ruled and awakens our subconscious, as well as awakens our creative potential. Now, it also is very, very helpful. And like I say, that's why I don't think it gets, it's kind of underrated when you look at the 12 houses, because it's not necessarily in your face like the first house, right? But this is a time where it is so prolifically helpful in the way where it also helps with revealing hidden enemies. It helps with revealing what's been concealed, what's been unseen, and it helps us with providing an amazing opportunity of healing, of compassion on where you can confront and process past wounds and therefore turn them into wisdom for your future. And so that's why I say I feel like in a lot of ways the 12th house gets underrated, but it really sets the foundation with our spirituality. And again, with this one, with Mercury being in Leo in our 12th house, it's all about giving us the opportunity, the confidence to speak our soul's truth. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, because starting out with the tarot right away. Oh, and we got the Death in reverse. Oh my goodness. Okay. So the Six of Wands, this is incredible. This has all been building up this week too. So if you haven't seen the weekly read, check that out. I've done kind of like a step-by-step for each day, because it feels like the world, the tarot, the universe is all aligning for Virgos. It's giving us a step-by-step daily awakening of how to manifest, how to ascend, how to elevate and illuminate so that we can manifest our best life, our greatest life in our highest timeline, and therefore enjoy and create our best and greatest masterpiece. And with the Six of Wands right away, this is about victory. This is also about achievements, about success, advancement in our career, I'm just saying. And this is also talking about significant progress, and it starts with speaking your soul's truth. This is also good news coming in the wing. And Mercury is our winged messenger, right? And it's also about speaking your soul's truth with confidence, with respect, both for yourself and gaining it from others. That's where you're being seen. That's where you're being validated on your soul's journey. And most importantly, it's a reminder with the Six of Wands that this is not the end. This is the beginning. And especially with the new moon here that just took place yesterday, Jupiter's Cazimi, there was so much going on this week. Check out all the readings, no pressure, but each one of them is so prolific. And again, we've got Jupiter's blessing here as well. Just saying. And we've got Leo emulating right away. And this is fire when it comes to our communication. And remember, Mercury is really our communication, our winged messenger from the universe. Now, with the 6, it's about balance. It's about harmony, symmetry, integration, emotions, and also, too, reciprocity, harmony of polarities. And it speaks quite a bit, too, to our solar plexus energy, right? Our solar plexus really speaks to knowing who we are, what we are, why we're here, our soul's purpose, and knowing, having and holding that confidence and knowing that we are enough. You always have been. You do enough, just as you are, and you are enough, just as you are. And if that resonates, by all means, like I say, put a heart, share your thoughts in the comments below, because this is the time when Mercury is in Leo, where it provides us this opportunity to turn the wounds from the past into wisdom for our future. And more importantly, obtain the closure that's necessary to clear those karmic contracts through reflection, through relief, and release too. But it allows us the opportunity, teaches us the way to transmute pain into our manifestations through passion and through standing in our power. Like I say, this is where the soul speaks its truth during Mercury in Leo season. It is incredible. It is so prolific and so powerful. And Mercury's influence will bring a more confident and passionate approach to our communication as well as our soul's expression. It encourages us to express ourselves boldly and creatively without being afraid of showing our vulnerabilities, because our vulnerability is our story and our strength. Those are our lessons that we set up for when we come into this life, right? And with the death in reverse, this is amazing. This is about basically speaking to the ideas of anything that has led you to basically be in a standstill, has created disappointment where you've been resistant to change, afraid to stand in those vulnerabilities, right? Anything that you've maybe suppressed or not realized, that's been unseen, concealed, and also hidden talents that haven't been accessed yet, psychic abilities that haven't been accessed yet, hidden enemies that haven't shown themselves. That all comes to the forefront during Mercury in Leo season, I'm just saying, but it really has a lot to do with those shadows. And with the 13, this is divine feminine energy, right? It reduces to the 4. It combines new beginnings with dynamic balance with the 3. And through that, it forms the stable balance in our foundations. It also has a lot to do with our sacral energy, right? That's about getting into the creative flow. And so that's the true beauty of the spirituality path and the house of spirituality and unconscious, right? It basically, whatever was suppressed or unseen, unrealized, the sacral energy allows us to really utilize the past as a tool to move forward in the present and cherish every piece of every single day. It also connects us to that creative flow when it comes to tapping into that unlimited potential, those hidden talents, those psychic abilities that haven't been realized yet. And like I say, if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below. Share your thoughts on what you're uncovering this Mercury season, because this is where most of the work gets done when it comes to the foundation, right? I always go back to when I was building my so the first place I decided to own was I bought land and I designed, because I just absolutely I fell in love with architectural design. But then I got the opportunity to build my first house. Let me tell you, I had no idea what I was doing, but I had a heck of a lot of ambition, and more importantly, I wasn't afraid to learn along the way. Did I make a lot of mistakes? You betcha. Did I learn, and was I able to take those tools with me? You betcha. And did it help me realize, same thing with architectural design, about passions, hidden talents that I had, standing in my creative flow that I didn't quite realize on how to apply in other ways? Absolutely. That's what this is about. And it's laying that foundation for us. And so, like I say, especially with Leo, Leo is generally associated with standing and taking center stage, right? It's all about presenting yourself to the world in such a way where you take complex ideas and speak them in a way that everyone can be reached, everyone can relate. And so with Leo, in a lot of ways, it's about taking center stage. But with Mercury in Leo, it's not just about taking center stage. It's about building that stage. It's about owning that stage. It's by standing in your truth, you're comfortable in your own skin. And therefore, you're finding the prosperity, the wealth, the abundance that's therefore created, manifested through speaking your story. And with Mercury being the ruler of the mind, especially with everything that's been going on for Virgos, as the universe is aligning for us to awaken, to ascend, to walk into our new era, our new world, and our new us. Sounds a little different than you are your new you, but either way, this is the time where if you're attracting abundance, and I will say I hope you are, but if you're attracting abundance into your life, this is the time to do it. I'm just saying. And with the moon, this is so gorgeous because we just had that new moon. This is voluntary change. Like I say, it's really looking at those opportunities of healing and compassion that were unrealized, unleashing our creative potential. And through releasing and unleashing that creative potential, those psychic abilities, following that intuition and connecting to the divine, your spiritual path, opening that third eye, this is the time where it allows us to awaken our inner compass. And now is the time to do it, especially with the new beginnings of that new moon. I'm just saying. And with that Piscean energy, it speaks to our dreams, right? So with the moon, it's all about voluntary change. It's about the embracing, let's just go with that. Our dualities within us, because, right, our light is also our shadow. Our shadow is also our light. And in our shadow, light shines the brightest, especially right now where we just had our summer solstice. But this is where you're focusing and allowing your intuition to guide you, your subconscious to guide you. You're loving that inner shadow because, again, it helps you shine brighter. You're embracing and following your spiritual path, but also, too, it uncovers the hidden enemies that are there and meant to deceive you. And that includes in your inner world as well as in your external world as well. And so this really speaks to the creative flow of water, right? It's really figuring out and uncovering those pieces that we haven't yet worked on. And in so doing, truly aligning us, awakening us to our personal power that we didn't know we had within us. And if that resonates, by all means, like, share, subscribe. Let's get this message out to as many Virgos as we can, because this time truly is prolific. I am just saying. And so, like I said before, with Mercury in Leo and being in our 12th house, it's where the conscious intertwines with our subconscious. It awakens our inner compass, and it awakens our inner compass with aligning boundaries, with creating support systems that truly are genuine and meant for us. And it also awakens our alignment with walking forward with discernment. And so with Mercury now being in this fire energy, right, it brightens, it heightens our willingness to let our intuition lead us. And more importantly, it allows our intuition to guide us. This is the time where when you make connections in your actions, in your movement, you're doing them being very comfortable in your own skin, right? Following your inner compass. And so you're doing these actions, these connections that you're making, the movements, the actions that you're taking. It's all about and based on listening to your soul and giving up the control. Your ego is relaxing the reins. And like I say, it's where your conscious and your subconscious are working together, but your subconscious, your soul's language, is truly leading the way, and it's speaking your soul's truth. And this is the time to remember, too, that with the 12th house, especially with there being, oh my God, I just looked at this. I'm sorry, I was looking at my notes. But Sorry, I got distracted there with the Hermit coming out. I just absolutely love this. But with the 12th house, also uncovering our hidden talents, marrying them to our creative flow, our creative potential. This is the time where Virgo's inner creativity is activated and it's ignited by unconscious drives through spiritual and emotional realignment and spiritual and emotional influences. And by uncovering that, it confronts aspects of ourself that, again, are not fully acknowledged. These could be things that you were born with that you kind of didn't realize how valuable they were because they've just come naturally to you. These are light bulbs, and all of a sudden with redefining your worth is in them, especially with that new moon here that just came in as well. And so by reviewing your karmic lessons that you signed up for in this life, it reveals your true beauty and your true realization, your true personal power, your true soul's purpose and power. And also by confronting any type of fears, particularly when they have to do with your voice, standing in your vulnerability, standing and expressing your spirituality. It connects you even deeper to your purpose, to your vision, and it gives you that connection on that deeper level with a clarity that only the soul understands. And if that resonates, by all means, please like, share, subscribe, put a heart in the comments below, because like I said, this is standing in your Virgo in power. This is all about being like standing firm with your feet planted 10 toes down, rooted in our earth energy, because the Hermit is all about going within, right? So the story of the Hermit is always a tale of very much introspection, right? We're not afraid to look at the shadows. We're not afraid to walk in the dark, confront those fears, those enemies, those wounds, right? And by doing so, we're able to shed light on them and gain the knowledge from them, gain the wisdom by basically seeking mentorship, by seeking that spiritual guidance. It's all about wanting to know the inner knowledge, the inner workings of our soul's journey, our soul's path. And then once we reach our personal power, we speak our soul's truth to the world. That's what this Mercury season in Leo is truly all about. And we've got some time to work on this energy, right? Or work with this energy. And again, I just want to put it out there. This is where we gravitate towards alternative approaches, new ideas, scientific thinking, creative theories. And it's all led when you release the control of the ego by strong intuition and strong insights. And this is where we've gone within. And once we go within, that's when we basically ignite that spiritual truth, that soul's truth, and we teach as the healers and the teachers to the world. Now, this is also the year, 2025 is the year of completions, right? With the 9. And so I'm not surprised that this came out as well. And I will say too, so 9 speaks to completions, right? Achievements of goals, attainments, the ends of cycles, also integration of that wisdom, right? Learning to turn those pains into the manifestation of your passions and your power when it comes to unleashing your hidden talents and expressing them through your creative potential. But truly, stay tuned, because it's all unveiling and it's all to prepare us for 2026 when we reach the year of 10. And spoiler alert, or I don't want to spoil it, so stay tuned for that actually. I'm going to leave you guys hanging, I'm sorry. But this is all about igniting that third eye, unblocking any aspects that have basically led you to not trusting your inner compass, not trusting your intuition, not connecting with your guidance of your soul's language. This is also about allowing yourself to dream as big as the universe, to hold your vision for your future without attachment, but also too, to trust that what you see in both the physical and through the inner eye leads you on your true soul's calling, your true wisdom that you're meant to do in this life. And like I say, this is all about clearing, reviewing your karmic lessons that you signed up for. So it has also a lot to do about that South Node meditation as well, right? And our South Node is still in Virgo. And so with Virgos, check out your personal chart because it's going to relate to you better in that way and more individually. But Speaking on a higher level with Virgos, our negative traits can lead us to overthinking, over-analysis. So it leads to analysis paralysis, right? Being overly critical of ourselves, where we end up putting ourselves in a place of stagnancy. This is clearing those self-contracts. It's learning how to truly be the high priest. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is gorgeous. Okay, I'll stop after. Okay, I'll stop. I promise. The bottom of the deck was so speaking to me here. But this is embracing both sides of yourself, being gentle with that inner child, right? Embracing those South Node aspects, because those are the lessons that truly have led us to being the hermit, gaining that knowledge so that we can in turn, when we reach that point of mastery, come to the world and teach and shine in that high priestess energy. This is embracing our dualities, following our unconscious, our intuition, embracing and developing and mastering that psychic ability, those psychic energies within each of us, utilizing our discernment with our perceptivity. Perceptivity, don't know why I can't say that. Embracing the mystery that life gives us on the journey, right? And like I say, with our 12th house, it's also about unrevealed futures, right? It's not about knowing and planning. And that's another piece of us too. If we can't plan for plan A, B, C, D, sometimes we lose our direction. This is instead about walking forward, not necessarily not knowing what the plan is, but trusting that our soul knows the way. And this is the time where Mercury in Leo is teaching us, giving us the confidence, giving us the creative ideas, the alternative approaches, the scientific thinking, and the strong intuition to speak our soul's truth and speak and hold our place, stand in our rightful place as spiritual teachers. And like I say, if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, because again, it speaks to the third eye, but also it speaks to finding balance through those polarities in our partnerships, standing in our wisdom, because those wounds, those self nodes, are what gives us the wisdom that we carry through into our future. This is also about standing and bringing balance with universal order through reflection, finding our vitality through speaking our story, because that is our truth, and that truly is our gift to the world. And it's through the opportunity to really not be afraid when it comes to standing in our vulnerabilities, right? Giving voice, confronting our fears, and expressing our spiritual teacher, our spirituality through repetition, through learning. And with this is truly our new beginning. It's about standing with new beginnings in our personal power, tapping into our unlimited potential. And this is the new ideas, positivity being embraced at this time, surrounding us, embodying it through our creative flow. This is also connecting with the divine. This is conquest, victory, decisions, again with power, potential, our intellect, especially with Mercury. Mercury rules the mind, right? Standing as the spiritual leader and having the courage to do so. And more importantly, gaining the prosperity, the success from standing in our soul's truth, speaking and sharing our soul's wisdom. And with the Capricorn too, this is all about taking those practical steps, right? They're our fellow earth sign. And so Capricorns, what I love most about Cappies, and I will say, my favorite part too is my two, because being proud cat mama, my two boys are also Cappies. They're my little guardians, I'm just saying. But either way, I am so grateful that they're Cappies, because they are so practical when it comes to their wants, their needs, their nourishments, especially what they need from me, and they're not afraid about asking. And two, when it comes to learning, because they are incredibly smart, they keep me on my toes. Capricorns are all about breaking down large projects, large goals into practical steps. They're very good at being able to realize the path through that vision, right? They can see the far distance, like the wide scope, right? The long-term vision. And then they hone in on each of the steps that need to take place, what needs to be learned along the way to rise to that greatness. And that's where the dreamer comes in with that Piscean energy, as well as that Aquarian energy comes in as well. So the Aquarian energy, especially with Pluto, comes to mind. We're standing in our golden era. We're at the beginning of our golden age. That's where the dream comes, to really look at things differently, especially on the larger world stage of what was not serving us when it comes to governances, teachings, and what we can do differently to benefit everyone as a whole, because we'd start looking and treating the collective in the value that we are all connected and we are all whole together as one race, not divisive between our differences. And like I say, if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, because during this time, we also, don't forget, have Mars in Virgo, right? Mars is our go-getter planet, and when entangling Mercury in Leo's energy with Mars in Virgo's energy, check out that video if you haven't seen it. It's very prolific and it's got drive with it, and it's all about well-being as well. But with this entanglement between Mars and Mercury in these energies, it encourages reflection on our daily choices, especially going back to that Cappy energy there, and the daily choices that we make and their impact that they have on us with our well-being. Expect this entangled energy to motivate and awaken you to making wise decisions. This is where we're again standing in that High Priestess and Hermetic energy. But it also allows us to make wise decisions about our consumption, about our movements, about our alignments, and promotes an awareness of how powerful our mindset truly is. And by harnessing that energy through our intuition, with letting the soul, letting our intuition lead us, releasing the ego's control, we also then realize that we are standing unshakable. And that is the gift of Mercury in Leo season. I'm just saying, I'm absolutely loving it. It is so prolific. And this is where you're able to walk forward as the Page of Cups. This is where you can embrace the emotional aspects in your manifestations, because, right, manifestation is all about intention, action, and our emotions. Our emotions are our magnetic field, our vibration that we send out when we attract, because like attracts like. And that's what then the universe can therefore mirror back to us. This is keeping our focus on regulating our emotions. It's regulating our emotional coherence and mastering that. But it also allows us to focus on our dream, speak our soul's truth. We're not just taking center stage, we're building that stage. That's what this season is all about. It's standing in our imagination, utilizing that sense, standing in our creative flow, embracing the artistic talents that we have, and also poetically weaving our manifestations. But again, the Page of Cups speaks to our intuition. It speaks to being sensitive to the energies that we have within us, as well as that we manifest in the world around us. And embracing, developing, mastering, awakening our psychic abilities, because truly inspiring news is happening during this time. And we'll get into it. There is a spoiler. I don't want to spoil it. Anyway, I was going to spoil it, but I'm not going to. But this is really about finding that balance between our truth and our shadows, because again, our shadows are what turns our wisdom into greatness, into our passions, into our power. It also is what marries our earth energy to our creative flow with that water energy. And the cups really in general speak to our emotions, our intuition, our feelings, our spirit. If there was anything, side tangent too, this is also a very good time, not trying to tell anyone what to do by any means, but this is a good time to walk through life and really look at any type of addictions that you've had that have held you back, because drinking, smoking, things like that really fragment our soul, and it puts holes in our spirit. It doesn't fragment our soul. Let me correct myself. I apologize. It fragments our spirit, and it pokes holes in our spirit in the way where it makes us vulnerable to hidden enemies, to negativities, and it also blocks us in our soul's path, in our soul's highest elevation and ascension. This is the time to really detox yourself of all of that and truly reflect on the inner self relationship that you hold with yourself, with the relationships around you, and with that crown, the relationship that you hold with the divine. And like I say, if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, because this is the time, like I say, where we realize that we truly are not only powerful, we are unshakable because we're balanced, we're attuned with the Temperance card. This is also too a fusion. It speaks to a fusion between our soul, our spirit, and our body to achieve harmony through that internal balance. It starts with the inner work. And that's why I say the 12th house, I think, sometimes gets really underrated. But it's so prolific with the work that we do within our house of spirituality and unconscious. It's truly where our foundation steps from and starts from. But this is the time. So mark your calendars. July 29th of 2025. Because where we started on June 26th with Mercury in Cancer being sextile to Uranus, on July 29th, we also move into a sextile again with Mercury and Uranus. But this time, Mercury's in Leo, Uranus this time is in Gemini, which is our sister sign when it comes to being ruled by Mercury. This is so powerful, and it's truly a favorable and monumental time for Virgos. So mark it on your calendar, no pressure at all, but this is the time where it opens a period of unexpected changes, revolutionary ideas, particularly when it comes to communication and society. And so this is where Virgos are boosted with Leo's energy through confidence, creativity, self-expression. And this sextile stands to hold impact for Virgo's career. Just saying, mark your calendars. It brings new ideas, new interesting opportunities, particularly when they involve science, technology, or politics, and it all comes from and stems towards our career. This is again where we're standing as the High Priestess energy. We're spiritual teachers. We're standing in our soul's truth. This is where with the Temperance card as well, we're standing in a place of healers, or as healers for the world, as teachers for the world, in our creative flow, in what we create, in the art that we create. And with the 14, it reduces to the 5. This truly, July 29th, expect a new beginning when it comes to the foundation, the structure of your careers, of your unexpected energy, of new ideas. And I'll say it again, it involves science, technology, or even politics. So no pressure at all, but put a heart if that resonates with you in the comments below. Share your thoughts. Share what ideas, if you think about it, come back to this channel on July 29th and share what you have igniting during this time. Because again, it creates a breakthrough. And most importantly, with Uranus, an unexpected breakthrough. This is something that we can't plan for or work towards, but it revolves around and really comes through something that you say or something that you hear. And so like I say, pay attention, mark your thank you. Mark your calendar. Thank you. Okay, fine. I'll take that one too. Mark your calendar. I'll say it one more time. For July 29th, because this is the time where with something that you say, something that you hear comes through and it ignites a light bulb like you're turning on a switch. It's very monumental and it's very unexpected, but it creates and I should say it comes through in a very revolutionary way as well. But it brings evolutionary change in a very good way. Not only for Virgos in our inner world, but in the world, our contributions to the world around us. And so with the Death card, again, this is the end of an old cycle, the start of something new, the rebirth, the finality, transformation, endings. But again, new beginnings. Pay attention on July 29th. Like I say, this is the most important day when Mercury is in Leo for us. And again, we've got time to work with this energy. It'll be with us here from June 26th all the way to September 15th. And expect things to move quickly with the Chariot. This is about focusing your energies and getting ready because change is coming. Success is meant for you. If you were dealing with any blockages before, expect those to be lifted, especially this week here, and especially as we walk into Mercury being in Leo. But this might also involve travel. Either way, your ambitions will be moving, and it's going to come from your willpower, your endurance, especially with that Mars energy. Now, with the King of Swords, this is about manifesting with the mind, right? Like I say, during this time, This is about attracting your abundance, utilizing the power of your mind and realizing just how incredibly unshakable it is when it comes to making wise decisions about your consumption, about your movements, about your alignments, but standing in your authority with your self-discipline, particularly when it comes to building structure through objectivity, through logical, rational thinking, as well as in your leadership. And like I say, if that resonates, by all means, like, share, subscribe, because with the King of Pentacles in reverse, this is where you may have been having your focus basically being overcome by materialism. With Mercury in our 12th house, it allows us to relinquish, there we go, that ego control, and instead overcome any type of greed, corruption, loss, and more importantly, insecurities, and walk instead towards true manifestation when it comes to financial matters as well. So like I say, this is the time, particularly when it comes to breakthroughs on hidden talents, creative potential, turning those pains into passion, manifesting them with your passion and through your power. This is where you're turning those manifestations, and as a result, you're manifesting true financial abundance with this fire energy. Now, as well, a couple of other key dates as well to pay attention to. So I'm going to say the R word. I'm sorry in advance, but this is a good one, I promise. So Mercury will also be entering retrograde, or will experience a retrograde from July 18th through August 11th. But this Mercury retrograde in Leo, still in our 12th house, is a positive one for Virgo. So all the work that we're going to be doing with this enlightenment, with this connection with our spiritual truth, speaking our spiritual soul truth, not only just standing center stage, but building that stage, speaking our story, manifesting it in a way that creates financial abundance, realizing those breakthroughs on July 29th, because again, Mercury's going to be in retrograde during this time as well. This retrograde for Virgos only amplifies all that work, all that awakening, all that uncovering in our spiritual path and our connection to the divine, letting our intuition guide us, awakening our psychic abilities, realizing our hidden talents and our creative potential. This retrograde amplifies all of that. It amplifies the opportunity to, again, go in and reflect, go in and introspect on all of that work. And like I say, it amplifies it even more so and prepares us for the breakthroughs that are coming through in the way of communication on July 29th, particularly when it comes to our career through communication and cause and effect. Like I say, it's something that you say, it's something that you hear, has to do with science, technology, or even politics, but it's very much revolutionary in the way where it brings evolutionary change in a very, very good way. And this is where with the Four of Cups, again, it's, if you're in the past, if you've been dealing with a loss of focus, missed opportunities, stagnation, they were redirecting you for this cup that's being handed to you during Mercury in Leo season, particularly on July 29th. Oh my gosh, the star came out. This is gorgeous. So again, this is the positive, this is where you're standing with that high priestess power, but with that star power, it ignites evolutionary change. And it's in a very positive way. It brings and ushers in hope for the future. It creates contentment. It creates and manifests healing, renewal, inspiration, financial manifestation. But this is where you are not only creating evolutionary change in your career, but it benefits the collective in a very revolutionary way. Now also too, this is all to prepare us, believe it or not, as we build our stage, as we speak our soul's truth, as we realize just how powerful our mindset is, just how unshakable we are, because we're confronting our fears about our voice, our vulnerability, standing in our spirituality. This also prepares us for when Mercury enters Virgo season in our wheelhouse on September 15th. And I promise I'll do a separate read on that as well, so stay tuned. But Mercury will not only be entering Virgo, it'll be entering Virgo in our first house. Can you talk about being in our wheelhouse, being at home, especially in our individuality, our independence, how we present ourselves to the world, embracing that sun energy, that vitality. This is going to be all preparing us for that. I'm just saying, I've got goosebumps. But with our ancestors, what Spirit is really reminding us is that this is the time to realize just how vibrant you are, just how unshakable you are. You were born to shine and inspire. Practice humility to avoid jealousy, because again, this time will also help with revealing hidden enemies in our external world as well as within our South Node, within our internal world. It'll help us with revealing and awakening to what was concealed, what was unseen. But this is the time to be grateful for life. More good things will come. Be true to yourself, your soul's truth, and recognize your brilliance with the peacock. I just absolutely love this energy. Now, before we go, I do just want to look at our music medicine, because meditation is truly going to be much needed and higher healing, higher elevation when it comes to being in our 12th house here this time, or at this time. And boy, did we uncover a lot. This is going to provoke a lot of change. Like I say, revolutionary change, revolutionary ideas that bring evolutionary change. And it's very much reflected by how many major arcana came through in this. So as you do your music improv, we actually have 2 G sharps, an F, a B, and then also a G. And then color medicine-wise, what we've got is our indigo, could be talking to an indigo starseed, and just saying with the 12th house being awakened during this time, psychic abilities, hidden talents, letting our subconscious lead the way with our intuition, and doing it on a very much uncontrolled way. You'll be very comfortable in your own skin, so your body is going to move very responsive, or be very responsive to your soul's direction, to your spirit's direction, to your intuition. But this speaks to being a starseed and awakening the starseed within us. This is also, so we've got indigo. We've got, I don't know what I would call that. Oh, I'm getting them backwards. So we've got violet, we've got indigo. We've also got greens, we've got magentas, we've got teals. And teal speaks to the ethers, right? That is truly our highest path of ascension. And so try practicing your meditative improv, particularly with music, with these chords. Also, to embrace these colors with your color medicine too, because that holds strength with you. Wear your positivity in the colors that you embody during this time. And so I truly hope this reading helps. I am sending you guys all so much love and light. Welcome to Mercury in Leo season. Take care, and I will see you in the next reading.